My name is Giana, darling, and I am back this week to talk to you about some bookish things while I make my favorite Bolognese. And it's in honor of My Dark Fairy Tale, which comes out on April 8th, and ARCs are officially in the wild, which is so exciting. I've got lots of feedback on them, and I will get right into it as soon as I tell you a little bit more about what I'm cooking. I already started with some onions. I'm just chopping some up right now. I don't know about you guys, but my eyes always water really badly, no matter what. Even if my knives are really sharp. I think I also heard that if you put like a piece of bread in your mouth, it's supposed to help. Try that as well. No such luck. So anyway, I'm cutting up my onions to caramelize them, and then while I caramelize them, I'll tell you a little bit more about what I am reading this week and a little bit more about My Dark Fairy Tale. And while I'm not chatting with you guys, I am watching Running Point, which is so good. It's that new Netflix show with Kate Hudson, so iconic, like the 1990s or early 2000s rom-com queen. Probably more early 2000s rom-com queen, but like who hasn't seen How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days? And then she was in Fool's Gold, so that with like a weird accent, Fool's Gold with Matthew McConaughey, which is also so iconic, and a couple more, I can't remember what other ones she was in. But then she kind of stopped being in anything for a while. Also, side note, she's actually a singer, and I love some of her music. Let me just check. One of her songs I listen to all the time. It's like on my most listened to list, and I want to say it's Gonna Find Out, and it's so good. So recommendation there for a song. But anyway, I'm watching it. It's about her taking over her family's basketball team, which is based on the Lakers. And as I understand it, it's actually based on sort of a true story of the woman who runs the LA Lakers. So that's kind of cool. And it's just kind of fun. It's got the girl too who's married to Macaulay Culkin, and she was in Sweet Life of Zack and Cody, which I think I was a little old for that show, but I was also still aware of its existence in my life. And so anyway, she's iconic as well. And I just got home from Orlando. Oh my gosh, so much fun, but utterly exhausting. On our way down, like the night of our trip down, we got 3 hours of sleep because I woke up at 2:15 to get our flight, which left at like 5 in the morning. And then it was the same on the way back. And we didn't get very much sleep there because I think jet lag and just anticipation. So Hayden got really sick, and I feel like I'm kind of getting a cold. I have a bit of a sore throat, but I've been vigilant about taking my vitamin C, drinking lots of water. I took some vitamin D too. Just like trying all the things to try and not get sick. But I also haven't been sleeping that well even since I've been home because I'm so thrown off by the travel, which is one thing about traveling a lot that kind of sucks. But anyway, we're home. It was so much fun. I love signings to see, like they're just so much fun. They really are, but they are taxing, and you pay the toll for like a week after you get back from the signing. But I got to see some friends, and if you haven't watched my vlog, it's up now and you can see all the nitty-gritty of what I did. But anyway, since I got home, I've been writing a lot. I've actually been basically in my writing cave. In 2 days, I wrote 18,000 words, which is a lot of words. And I'm working on the next Fallen Men book, so Fallen 9. There's 8 out right now. The last one was Asking for Trouble, and it sets up Fallen Men 9. I would say Asking for Trouble and Caution to the Wind set up Fallen Men 9 really well. I do think that this Fallen Men book is like one of the ones that has been building for a long time. So I'm having the best time in the world again. Writing in the Fallen just always feels like coming home, and I've been really anticipating writing this book specifically for years. So I have all the covers already, the discreet and the people covers, because there's always like the hardback and the paperback. Yeah, and they're gorgeous. I think they're maybe the best ones yet. So I can't wait to start telling you guys more about that, but I won't release it until next year because there's no Fallen Men this year, but I am releasing 2 next year. So after I finish writing Fallen Men 9, I'm gonna go right into Fallen Men 10. Can you believe there'll be 10? Sorry, I had a little bit of a crisis. I forgot about the onions. Anyway, as of 2026, there's gonna be 10 Fallen Men, which is crazy and actually kind of cool because it'll be 8 years since I published Lessons in Corruption, which is the first book in the Fallen Men series. We have that to look forward to. So that's what I'm working on right now. It's going really well. I already have the playlist. The Pinterest board has like 1,000 pins on it, and I'm just loving it. I can't wait to get feedback from my editors and my sensitivity readers, even though I'm gonna have to sit on it for a while. But anyway, in other news, I sent out ARCs for My Dark Fairy Tale, which is super exciting. That's my book coming out with Montlake Publishing. It was a dream of mine to publish with Montlake for a very long time. I actually put it on my goals vision board when I did this like special mindfulness retreat back in 2019. I had it on my vision board, so it's cool that it's come to fruition, and it's the first book in a mafia romance duet. It's about a girl, an American girl who goes to visit Italy against her family's wishes. And on her first day there, her dream trip turns into a nightmare. She's accosted and then she's hit by a car. And the man who hits her with his car, even though he's not a good guy, he kind of takes pity on her and takes her under his wing to show her the real Italy. So it's kind of my love letter to Italy, to mafia romance, which I love. There's a lot of similarities, I would say, between Guinevere and I. When I first went for the summer to Europe, I was 18 and Guinevere is 23. But she's naive a little bit and sheltered because she has a chronic illness, and that's primary axillary type 1, which is essentially where it's a disease that affects your liver and your kidneys mostly. Your body produces too much of a substance that causes issues, backs up your kidneys and your liver. And the reason that Guinevere has this disease is because my French sister, who I first met when I was 18 going to live in Europe for the first time, she has that same disease. So it's an homage to Charlotte, kind of a little homage to her and the relationship that I built with her and her family when I moved to Europe for the first time, and subsequently went back every summer for years. And that French family is my family. I call them my French mom, my French dad, my French brother and sister. They came to my wedding. My French little brother only had 4 days off. He lives in Paris, and he came all the way down to Mexico for my wedding. We just love each other. When Charlotte was sick and she got diagnosed with cancer when she was a teenager, she said, when I beat this thing, I'm gonna come and live with Giana in Canada. And when she beat it, she came and she lived with me. She went to my old high school. I was in university at the time, and I was like her soccer mom. I drove her around, I made her lunches, I took her to school. We're very bonded. So it's kind of a cool little nod to her in this story. And I would say that the story and kind of Guinevere's journey through learning Italy and the culture and the language are very much reminiscent of how I felt living in France, learning the language, and really bonding with my found family there, just how Guinevere bonds with her found family in Italy, with Rafa and his soldiers. In a lot of ways, it's a very personal story. Feel this big old carrot. So obviously it's a meaningful story. It's my love letter to Italy. My mother's father was Italian, and I have always really loved the country. Every time I've gone to Europe, I've gone to Italy. I visited many parts of Italy, but my favorite part is Tuscany. I've spent quite a bit of time there. I just was yearning to write a book there, so hence My Dark Fairy Tale. And I just announced recently the next book in the duet, which comes out October 28th, is My Dark Ever After. And they're my love letter to Italy, to all the things I love about mafia romance, a overpossessive anti-hero who is soft only for her, a heroine who has to overcome her own obstacles and have a lot of like internal growth in order to accept herself and this new version of herself she has to be in order to accept and love a criminal. So it has a lot of my favorite things, and I'm really, really thrilled that so far all the early readers really seem to be loving it. I know a lot of people think that the cliffhanger is quite cruel, but if you've read a Giana Darling book before, you know that I love a cruel cliffhanger. I mean, you should expect it. And the next book is coming out this year, so it's not too long of a wait. I'm loving that people love Rafa so much. He really is an incredible hero. There's some sexy, spicy Italian lessons while they're driving in his Ferrari. And there's a scene on a boat that I love as well. Some people have been like, oh, it's a slow burn. I'm like, is it a slow burn? But I guess it's a slow burn to them actually having sex. But like the chemistry, the banter, and the progression to that moment happen fairly quickly, and I absolutely love it. Like there's definitely a spicy lessons teach me vibe to their chemistry and dynamic, and I love it. I'm so here for it. And some of the sex scenes in this story are my favorite. There's one at a winery. Yeah, she's wearing a white dress. They're doing a wine tasting. You can use your imagination, or you can pick up the book and see, because it's really titillating. It really is. Anyway, so I'm really happy that people are loving it. We've now officially sent out, just yesterday, we sent out some PR packages, the first of a few. So first we're sending out a few arcs just to like 45 people, and then we're sending out finished copies a little bit closer to release. So we have some swag, we have some stickers in there. We're not doing boxes, which is what I did for The Moon and His Tides, but it is like a swag pack, and we have some fun goodies in there. So I'm excited for that. If you guys are curious about how you get swag and PR gifts from me, I do open my Giana Darling content creator team and influencer master list, but I would make sure that you're joined in my group, Facebook group, Giana's Darlings. That's usually where we first post anything about applications for ARCs, for the influencer team, for the content creator team. So So make sure that you're in there, or at the very least that you follow me on Instagram, because I post there a lot with the different applications and news as well. So I'm pretty excited. I'm gonna finish cutting these carrots and then I'm gonna add them to the mirepoix, it's called. I'm gonna saute that all up, and then I'm gonna start on the beef for the bolognese, and I'm gonna also saute some bacon because that goes in there too. Okay, so I add the beef to the pot with the vegetables and also some red wine. Used this one, which my husband is the one who drinks wine, so he is the one who gave that to me. And then on like kind of medium low, so I have it on 3, I just kind of like mush it together so that the meat is really ground up. Like it should be in really small parts. You don't want big clumps. The smaller, the better. And I know that seems like an annoying step, but honestly, trust me, it just makes for a really like velvety meat sauce, and it gets the flavor evenly distributed. And so you put the wine in, and then you just kind of make sure that it's all finely ground. And then when the liquid evaporates, which it hasn't quite yet, then you add in the tomato paste, a little bit of nutmeg, and a bay leaf. I also usually add in some cayenne pepper and some garlic. So this is on the stove, and sometimes I also add in a little bit of allspice, which is really good. And then when I've done that, I let it cook for a minute just to like kind of brown the tomato paste, and I'll add in like a full can. And then I add in 2 cups of chicken stock, and you can make your own if you're super extra, but I'm not. So chicken stock, and then also a cup of whole milk. I'm allergic to dairy, but I just use the lactose-free whole milk. I think I have used a dairy alternative actually once. It just doesn't have quite the same effect because it doesn't have the fat, and you really need the fat. The fat like helps break down the proteins in the beef so that it gets really tender and super delicious. So if you are allergic to dairy like me, but you're allergic to like the whey protein or something other than the lactose, then maybe use a different recipe because this one, I swear the whole milk plays an integral role. If you don't have whole milk, you can use like heavy whipping cream mixed with some milk in a ratio that works, just so that it's like a little bit creamier. And then you pour that in, and then you actually let it rest for like an hour. I think 2 hours actually, on a really low simmer, and then it's delicious. And then later I meant to get bread, but I forgot, so we only have bagels, so I won't make garlic bread, but we do have fresh pecorino, which I will grate on top for my husband. And yeah, that's my favorite bolognese recipe. I will link it for you guys in the bio. This week I have a lot of exciting things going on. I'm gonna try and finish Vomit 9. I'm at like 68-ish thousand words, so I think I can finish next week if I just have a few days writing in bed, which I'm also vlogging the process of writing the Fallen Men 9 book, so that vlog won't come out for ages because it won't be until next year, but I am vlogging the whole process, which has been really fun. So I'm gonna try and finish that next week. And I just submitted a whole package for my agent to shop around some stuff, so hopefully I hear some news about that next week as well. Also, a very exciting thing that I did this week was my husband and I bought an apartment. So we own our apartment, but we just bought one. It's my first home purchase, so I'm very excited and kind of thrilling to be a first-time home buyer. So I'm pretty excited, and that was a little bit of a highlight of this week, and that's about it. I'll show you guys the finished product, but until then I'm gonna go back to watching Running Point. It's really good and I'm addicted. Doesn't that look amazing? So delicious. Bon appetit!